Y'all checking it? Come.
All right, Shalom.
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 Some GMS Miami, GMS New Orleans, coming at you live. Once again, we always start off by giving honor to the praise to Yahweh. Once again, double honor to our elders, apostles of GMS. Peace, blessing, and salutations again to the hopefully elect. Right? Shalom out there.
Shalom.
Yeah, so we're gonna get straight into it, man. You got as the days go on, you have a lot of things going on around the world, right? Case in point, the situation that's going on right now over in the Middle East, right? Things are stirring up, right? United States of America getting pulled into what we know as World War III by the, ultimately by the small hats, right? But their agenda right along with America is this agenda, right?
That's right.
And what's happening on a large scale, right, is that these nations are really picking sides, Nations have become to pick sides. You have the other situation with the Brexit, what is it called? Brexit?
Yeah.
Brexit.
Mm-hmm.
And these nations have basically ditched the dollar, man, and chose sides on an economic scale. Then we finna see the world nations choose a side against their foes, man, and war.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you said you had that. You can bring it up. You can bring that up.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
That's right. One more time.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
The second woe is past. Woe means goes into death and destruction, man. Right, but it says the second war is past. The second war was actually World War II, right? That was fought already, man. It says that the third war coming quick. And that third war is talking about is World War III. It's coming quick, right? We see it, right? You different YNs out there, you YCs, all right? You Tatianas and Natashas. And whatever else you want to call your fucking names, man, you're gonna get pulled into World War III too, in the way of the draft.
That's right.
Right? So see what these elites are doing now, they're drugging you up, they're fattening you up, all right? All to be slaughtered in the Third World War through the draft, man. A lot of you're not ready. You're not ready for the war on against, man. All right? Yeah, so.
Back to what you were saying about how everybody's picking sides and mainly turning against these Edomites in the West. Because, these Edomites in the West, America, Europe, NATO, they've been the cause of all the major issues you're seeing right now.
That's right.
BRICS and, everybody moving towards the east with Russia and China, which we know, of course, according to Ezekiel 38, that God is going to be that guard under these smaller nations.
Right.
But this is Obadiah chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Hey, this whole chapter is dedicated to the judgment and the downfall of you Edomites. So as it said, arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
Mm-hmm.
Thou art greatly despised. And, especially with these 1948ers right now, these nations are turning against you with what you're doing over in the Gaza Strip. And what? They know that whenever you do something, Big Daddy Babylon's going to come to save you. So everybody's picking sides and getting ready to go to war against the West.
Yeah.
Verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy, even your allies, these NATO and EU nations included, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And God. And, a perfect example of those that were in peace with you deceiving you is this whole war with Ukraine. America is bullying these European nations to throw sanctions and resources. But at the same time, what? They've got something called ghost tankers, where they're still getting Russian oil and natural gas on the back end. So economically, they're still dealing with Russia. And as they get dragged deeper and deeper into this war in the Middle East, the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, they're eventually going to turn those guns against you and those nukes.
Right. Because
That's why we tell you too, man, that your a lot of you Americans, your sons and daughters, they get drafted, they're not coming back home, man.
It's a trip.
It's a one-way ticket. One-way ticket, man. You're gonna go, you're gonna fight, you're gonna ultimately get killed, whether it's by your house shot or by the nations over there in World War III, but you're not coming in the, what they call it, the 20-gun saloon shit.
21-gun salute.
Yeah.
They shall not be mourned nor lamented.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, this shall be his done.
It's gonna be at dumping areas. Everybody's gonna be there to bury your neck. I can tell you that the state of the carpet's gonna go up, man. Yeah, you're not gonna get the whole sent out right. All right, you're just gonna be left over there. Matter of fact, the Most High even said that he's gonna make a covenant with the Father of the heavens, right, and the beasts of the field to drink and eat the blood of your carcasses, man. All right. That's how bad it's gonna get. Go ahead.
Right. This Zephaniah 3, you had something? Huh? Yeah, come on. This Zephaniah 3 and 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, said Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations.
See that?
Yeah.
Off the best, my determination is to what? Gather the nation. Where's going to gather the nation? In the valley of Jehoshaphat, the Shabbat, man.
Right.
Right, and we give you, as the prophets of the Lord, we give you in detail of that region, right? Which is the book of Joel, give you the region of where World War III is going to be. Yeah, it tells you the Bible when it's broken down by a spiritual leader, a prophet of the Lord. They give you detail. They can break down things. These pastors can't do that, man. These motivational speakers can't do that. They just give you a bunch of fluff and a bunch of prosperity teaching. All right, but they sway away from the book of Revelation. Oh, we can't open that book. They tell you that.
Yeah.
They talk about it's a spooky book. They say that's another thing. It's another thing. That's what they say. Dude. They don't even deal with that. They don't even deal with problems. They don't even deal with talks of World War III, right? You ask them about World War III in the Bible, chapter me. Go ahead.
Come on. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation,
Yeah.
even all my fierce anger.
Yep.
For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
All the earth was devoured with fire of my jealousy. Man. The Lord is going to bring nothing ultimate destruction. All right. World War III is going to be the war of war because it's going to be fought against nations. Guess who's going to attend that battle? How Shai is going to attend that battle. Angels are going to attend that battle. They're going to get it on. Keep it at a real fact in the pocket book.
Realm against realm.
Yeah, keep it out.
Yes.
That's where we at. That's where we finna be at in the world, man. Right?
Just work it.
Bring it up.
Just work it.
Second Ezra 13 and 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another. One city against another.
You got it.
One place against
I'm
another.
reading it.
Second Ezra 13 and 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another. One city against another. One place against another. One people against another. And one realm against another.
Hear that? One realm against another. It's gonna be a build up of things. You're gonna have nations fighting against another. You're gonna have people over here on the home front.
Civil war.
Civil war is going on, man. And then you're gonna have world wars of the realms, the spiritual realm, the angelic realm against the spiritual realm against this realm, the physical realm, and where we live at, man.
Right.
All right. Yeah, how Shai coming to take kick ass and take names, man.
Take
As they
many
say.
crowns on his head.
That's right. Where we was at before that?
I got something else.
Where we was at before that?
Oh, the secondary lower.
I don't know that 30.
That was it.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, where-
This is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 11. All right, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. And in righteousness stuff he judged and make war.
Yes, brother.
All right, that's talking about Yahweh Shai. That white horse represents the power and the authority and righteousness that Yahweh Shai is coming back in the chariots.
That's right.
Okay, as it is mentioned in not Revelation, but Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. All right, he's coming to wage war and righteousness, man. Yahweh Shai is not coming back to pass out dandelions and cotton candy, man, and just love on everybody. Like you said, he's going to get involved in the battle, man. All right, and the reason why it's a righteous judgment, you know, and a righteous war that he's waging is because the nations have gone astray, man. The nations have been in utter rebellion against the Lord. We was bringing that out yesterday in the different lessons he was doing, you know, yesterday and the day before that, Psalm, the 2nd chapter. It says how the kings of the earth and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, yeah, and against his anointed, man. So they're taking counsel against Yahweh Shai, man. All right, they're all really for this chip system and the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. They're all really with it. Okay, they're just gonna fight over who gets to control it, man. But Yahweh Shai is gonna step in and show them who's the boss, man. Who the dominion of the earth has actually been given to, which has been given to Yahweh Shai and to the elect underneath him, Mount Zion. Okay.
Right.
Now verse Revelation 19 and 12, it says his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, going into the authority that Yahweh Shai has. All right, because he about to take the crowns.
That's right.
All right, he's about to take the dominion from the rulers of this world. All right, and he's gonna have the dominion, and he's gonna dish that out amongst the ruling body of Israel, man, beginning with the 144,000, man. All right, it says, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. All right, going to Yahweh Shai's rank.
Right.
All right, he's the only one who has the rank that he has, man, that was given to him of the Father, man. As scriptures say that until Yahweh Shai was given the preeminence. All right, verse 13, it says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. Why does it say that, man? Because Yahweh Shai is coming to shed blood. All right, this is an allusion and a reference to Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. Man. Go ahead, bring it, man.
Gosh, this is Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?
Right, who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, man? And Edom are, you know, the so-called white man. You are the Edomites, man. Are you not white? You're red, and you're the descendants of Esau, Edom, the twin brother, the older twin brother of Jacob. All right, and Basra represents Babylon the Great, the capital chief city of Edomite dominion and influence on the earth, man. That's America, man. All right, Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, man. All right.
This Daniel.
It says, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Right, because the Yahweh Shai is coming back in the clouds, man. Those chariots, what the world calls UFOs, okay, spaceships, right? They try to change the narrative and demonize and say it's aliens from Mars and shit. No, those are the chariots of God, okay? All right, and Yahweh Shai, man, and the chariots of Israel, the chariots of our salvation, and the tokens of the destruction of the nation of Esau and the dominion of the heathen over the earth.
That's right.
Okay. All right. When and you read Daniel, the 2nd chapter, it talks about that great stone, all right, that was cut out without hands, that smote the feet of the statue, man. All right. The feet being 10 toes. All right. The EU. Okay. All right. The feet represent the end of something, the end of a body. All right. And also the foundation. All right. So when Yahweh Shai comes to judge this kingdom, all right, the nation of Esau, as it's written, Esau's the end of the world, all the dominion of the heathen collapse with him, man.
Yep.
Because he's the one that's continuing this wickedness on earth.
Okay, like this building over here. You can take that building and you deal with the front, you collapse the foundation, detonate the foundation. The whole building has no
It has no yeah.
as a whole.
Right.
All right, so Esau's continuing the influence of the heathens and their witchcraft and idolatry in the earth. He's the one that's upholding this system. So once he goes down, all you heathens go down with him.
That's good.
All right, that's why when the nations, you know, the Lord puts a spirit on them to send missiles over here to Babylon to destroy Babylon. All right, even though they're gonna rejoice that they got rid of their enemy. At the end of the day, Babylon is at the center of global influence in the world economy. So they're going to weep and wail.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to be crying like, yo, like, well, we no man buyeth our merchandise anymore. You know, the whole
many waters.
right. So they all going to go down with Babylon. Okay. And it wouldn't be surprising if Babylon shoots missiles back. and they start getting hit by missiles and said nuclear bombs going off. It's a fight, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be bloody, you know what I'm saying? A mutually mutually assured destruction. You know, but Babylon, America is gonna be utterly wiped out. You know, wiped off the face of the planet Earth.
And that's not far fetched because who attacked who? It was a preemptive strike by the JJs and America that hit Iran. So easily the America can launch nukes first, but that's going to be to their own judgment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. Wherefore art thou red? It says, Where art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treaded in the wine fat?
Right. So the prophet has seen a vision, a similitude of Yahushua being red, as though he was treading in the wine fat, his garments being splattered with the blood of the grapes. Now, is Yahushua literally going to come out of the chariots and start getting physical with you Edomites? No, the scripture say he shall not meet you as a man.
But you need to lift up any
Not be utterly beaten to powder in his presence.
Yeah, the Yahushua just going to speak.
They gonna,
And it's just going to
they gonna look.
zap. Just, I mean, you Edomites might literally just splatter. Like, he might just send a beam out from the chariots and y'all just splatter blood everywhere, man. Because it says it in the scriptures, man.
It does.
It's like the Apostle Paul said, big weapon was apple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
The
know?
Lord just gonna think it, and you just gonna implode.
Yeah.
Bro, you know they got some of those superheroes like that. He just think of something,
Yeah.
Yep.
it's just gonna pop, man.
Mhm.
You got Dr. Manhattan.
Mhm. Yes.
Exactly.
Just explode.
Mhm.
Verse 3. I have trodden.
Yeah, the Lord ain't gonna lift up a sweat, getting busy with an Edomite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in the tussle.
Dunking this shit.
Yeah, he dunking and dodging it. Yes, brother. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, they got anybody's got them pictures where Satan and so-called Jesus arm wrestling.
Nah,
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, come
Hey,
on.
that's on the lower level. This is gonna be the greatest feat that's ever been done by a warrior or a conqueror ever.
Right.
This man finna come and just thinking, and people just gonna be beating the powder. You know, greater than Samson killing 1,000, greater than anything any general has ever done. You know,
Even King David, man.
right?
He gonna get that. That's why the Yahushua gonna get the praise just like King David and Solomon. He's gonna get the praise the same way.
Right.
Remember how all the women was praising
Yeah.
David?
Yeah.
Hey, when those women is gonna be us. We're gonna praise the same way he David got chanted with those songs, man.
Singing the song of Moses.
We're gonna talk about how Yahushua gonna kill a lot of you motherfuckers
Billions.
over here.
Billions.
Billions.
Billions of.
Right.
Yes, brother. Not tens of thousands like David's gonna say billions.
Yeah.
He's gonna
That's right.
supersede all the so-called conquerors of old, man. You can put all them niggas up there.
Right.
Genghis Khan.
Alexander.
They're not gonna hold weight to Yahushua. What he's finna do, man?
The Lord said, King of Kings, Lord of Lords.
That's right.
Verse 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For I would trade them in mine anger.
Tread them. You know, when you tread something, she basically gonna stomp you out, man.
Out, man.
Y'all was not gonna steamroll all you fucking heathens in your armies, man. All the wicked of the earth get put down easily, man.
That's why Apostle Boss said back then, you don't have the mind frame of the old time, man. But look at somebody trotting grapes. How they get in there with their pants legs up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Delicate.
Right.
Yeah.
And then once you
Get
get
messy.
the
when they
going,
finish.
Yeah.
it's shit all
Yeah,
over
they
it.
tore up.
All of their shirt and shit, man.
Right. If you ain't seen that, then maybe you seen Don't Be a Menace with Marlon Wayne's character, and they stumping a nigga on the ground and you get flattened out. You know.
Don't be a finish by drinking your
No,
juice in the hood.
the one when your boy played Junior and he beat him up out.
Bad boy.
No, not bad.
That was Don't Be a Finish.
No,
Oh, Menace to Society.
it's inside. You remember the camera went right here?
Flat.
Nigga face, right in front of nigga face. A lot of y'all gonna be, man.
Right.
But the Lord gonna make y'all fight back. The scripture say they lost first.
They're fighting.
Well, hey, I did hold that, and that's a good segue into that. I'm gonna start Jeremiah 51:28. It says, "Prepare against her the nations." Talking about Babylon. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. And we know that the Medes going to the Russians, right? the captains thereof,
and their allies,
and their allies. You know,
which all the nations getting ready to ally with Russia against Babylon.
right?
Yeah.
It's a world war, so you got all these different parties, and they're gonna choose their sides.
Yeah.
That's how we
You know?
started off. Everybody's choosing sides now, man.
Right.
Mhm.
But see, that's how you know that Babylon is talking about America, because if it wasn't for the nations all ganging up against Babylon, it wouldn't work.
Right.
Saying Babylon is the hammer of the whole earth. That's why it's going to be such a shock when
Mhm.
Babylon is destroyed. You know.
They gonna gang up against
Yeah.
this bitch.
Yeah.
It says,
You beat a bully up.
yeah,
You get everybody to whip them out, man.
yeah,
Hey, even after that,
That has to be an agreement.
after Zelensky, after Zelensky and Trump had that shouting match in the Oval Office,
Mhm.
a lot of nations in the EU, they took Zelensky.
yeah,
They took him by his side underneath his wing. Said, "Look, you see what's going on with the tariffs and everything like this. The trade wars are leading to the actual real
Right.
wars. Like
Mhm.
Yakina was going to earlier. You got wars. There's going to be eventually World War III. You're going
Mhm.
to have civil war on the street.
Proxy wars.
You got proxy wars. You're going to have class wars.
Right.
All these things are going to tie to the actual global event.
That's all
Right.
the proxy war is. You can get other dudes to fight your
Yeah.
physical battle that you don't want to fight right now. You just paying them to do certain shit,
right.
man.
And it's buying them time because at one point, everybody gonna know a prophet was Muslim that we prophesied against this, prophesied about this World War III that's about to happen.
That's how you
You
know
know?
we get ready to be on the news, man.
You know?
We're getting ready to be brought up brought up on charges, brought before kings and
Mhm.
rulers and broadcasted. Like, this is not gonna be a thing that you just, it's like, okay, people know about it, but it's not really getting national coverage. Now it's about to be national coverage, man.
Right.
Because we're gonna tell them that Mark the Beast is coming, World War III is coming, they going into slavery, yeah, how shots coming back with chariots, so-called UFOs, so that when it happens, they can know, okay, our prophet was amongst them.
That's right.
It's just how it is. It's called law, like Bashar Balshai.
Oh, I got my smell shot. Let me read this, sir.
Yeah, because Daniel, Belshazzar was like, he had to call for Daniel, like, okay, what the meaning of the
You took the words of my
Minute Temple of Parson?
Yeah.
So he had to break it down, like, okay, yeah, this is what it means, and then these
Right.
come and take you down. And then it happened.
Right.
It
You
gets
know,
so
same night.
It gets so bad.
Exactly. While he was on bullshit.
Yeah, pull the brother in to see what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
Right.
What's gonna happen next in the world? Hey, the Lord, like the scripture said, the Lord gonna put in our mouths what to say.
Right.
Man, when we get brought up, watch out. When we get brought up before kings and those ones, man.
Right. When you on the Lord's team, he gave you the game plan. So we see all these different things happen. They gonna gang up against this bitch, you know?
Right.
America got the most aircraft carriers, but if you add up the nation's aircraft carriers, okay, you know? But
It ain't gonna, it's not gonna matter because the Lord gonna
It's against America.
the Lord's against
Right.
you. So
Yes.
the Lord gonna make it don't matter, man. We've seen brought these scriptures. It don't even matter about numbers, man.
right.
You're
It
right.
don't
There you
even
go.
fucking matter about numbers. The Lord make 300 men kick everybody's ass, man.
Right.
Hey, I'm glad you said that because
Right.
the Houthis that are stationed or living in Yemen, they were putting America to shame, man. All right, because the Houthis were hitting American cargo ships through the Red Sea. Also, they were hitting them JJs in their own land several times. So it goes to show you the Houthis, they're a small group of warriors, and they were giving America the business. So how much more a nuclear capable country like Russia and China and North
Right.
Korea, okay? So yeah,
Right.
I'm saying it's on point.
So, hey, Jeremiah 51:28. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the Russians, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And we know that Russia's going to have his allies, like the elders just said, right? Verse 29, it says, and the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant.
Yeah, America's gonna get dealt with in this social war, man.
Right.
They're gonna take major fucking losses, man. They're gonna get hit by missiles. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fucking aircraft strikes, all kind of EMPs going off. Invasions. These Americans gonna really be hurt, man.
Right.
Their pride is gonna be brought low. That's why it's the land shall tremble in sorrow, man. But
And again,
That's what we tell you too. These cities, like a city like this, it's gonna be turned into a war zone for survival, man.
mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Literal cities you're gonna have to get the fuck out of here, man.
yeah,
Right.
All right, they're gonna be guarded. They're gonna be blocked off by Humvees, troops, right, soldiers and shit.
Yeah.
And then you got these patriots Right, you got these militia groups, you got all type of shit around you that they're gonna be going to war with gangs. They got all type of shit gonna be going on, man.
Yep.
To turn a corner, it's gonna be a full battle going on, man.
Yep.
Right.
It's a lot to think about, you know.
I'm gonna finish this up.
But the Lord had really, Lord gonna shield the elect, though, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah 51:30. It says, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes."
Yeah.
Because what we saying, what brothers are saying, is really the Lord that want this to happen. The Lord wants to destroy Americans. You know, that's a determination, man.
That's right.
You know, the Lord want to the Lord want to set up the kingdom. The Lord want to save His people. So it's the Lord who really got His spirit and got the angels playing with the minds of these kings, man. Because the Lord wanted to happen. You see it right now on social media. If you go up and you see how people react to a draft happening, these people ain't reacting with patriotism. They don't want a draft. They don't want to go to war.
Right.
You know, it says, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might has failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken." So we see in America really the spirit of it fall, man. Even from these men, they like women, especially in these times that we coming into. But yet they gonna durst fight. You know.
Yeah, man, this brother here, we be talking about it. Certain brother Raya, we be going, brainstorming certain shit. We get on like World War I, World War II. The whole mentality of the people, well, even though this shit is all set up, but the mentality of the American people for World War I and World War II, they was amped to go fucking fight, man. They was ready to go kill some shit. I just brother say, you fucking YNs, man, you want to get drugged up. You ready to go pop a Molly, a perk 30 before you go fight, before they go fight for America.
Right.
Even when, some of the brothers was young, when 9/11 happened, man, you had, I remember certain teachers I had, they just want to sign them to the army to go fight.
Yeah.
That mentality,
Everybody knew somebody that signed up to go fight.
yeah, that shit is gone.
I thought.
That mentality is gone in there, man. They don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Half of them, half of them fat, overweight.
Right.
Yeah.
They gonna have pride
They
parades.
old,
Yeah. Yeah.
just tired, worn. You look at some of these people that just look worn out, man.
Yeah, that's how you know, because the American government and military, they know that these people don't want to go fight more, so they don't set up, these little false flag events to try to galvanize and encourage these Americans to go to fight. And then on top of that, when this famine really starts hitting, and they really bring out this Mark of the Beast, man, the RFID chip, man, they gonna have people willing to go fight just so they can eat, man.
That too.
Just so they can get benefits and go eat. So, but still, they it's gonna be definitely not the same morale like the brother said back in World War I and II.
Right.
The prisoners,
Yeah,
they're gonna make them sign up to go to war. You want to get out early? You want to get a free bed? Go fight the war.
Right.
Take this ship.
Take this ship and go fight the war, man.
Right.
They
Ain't
gonna
gonna,
sign up too.
They're gonna sign up for
they ain't gonna be down for the cause like it was with the colonies, the South versus the North in the 18th. No.
like against the British.
No, right. They ain't no.
They gone.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, like this brother said, they're going to set up some type of coup, some type of attack.
Yeah,
Maybe they're gonna sprinkle in some babies and their children,
There you go.
right? And they're gonna amplify. Oh, they killed babies.
yeah,
Make you niggas go, man.
yeah. Because Americans are stupid. They just fall for anything. Especially
Man,
you Edomite Americans are extremely dumb.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all try to play this, intelligent and well-informed game,
High IQ.
high IQ and shit, but y'all retarded as hell, man. Because in one moment you vote for Biden, then you don't like it, so you vote for Trump, and then now you mad that Trump is showing his ass. Like, no, he don't fuck with you. And it's that two-party system. Nothing ever gets better. It always gets worse. It always plays towards the agenda of the elites, and y'all still couldn't figure that out. Granted, Jake shouldn't be believing in that bullshit either. But you Edomites, you Edomites, y'all claim to be in the know, man. Y'all should have been able to see through that shit a mile away, man.
They thought they landed on the moon.
Yeah.
They scared to fight.
Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Finish the rest of the
Finish the rest of it.
I'll read it again. Shit. Jeremiah
No,
50,
I'm still holding.
Okay.
Jeremiah 51:30. It says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. It says their might has failed. Because really, how it's failing? Because these other nations really, are thou as weak as we?
Yeah.
You know, and the Americans could see that shit. They could see that people have nukes, man. That's the thing that really bring down the pride. They got nukes, man. If you go to World War III, man, it's gonna be ugly, man. If you get drafted, you go over there. Anybody could see that, you know.
Right. When they come with that draft, hey, brothers, hey, just say no. If they gotta throw your ass in prison, hey, throw your ass in prison. Hey, we can't go over there and be fighting against your house shot.
We can preach in prison.
Hey, Salaki, you remember that was King's Day or whatever, right? In the military, they was marching over here, and they was out of formation,
Right.
which was like a silent protest that they don't really want to go to war,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, because they see through it, man.
Mhm.
They see who the aggressor is. Right? It's not Iran. Okay.
And another thing that's going on, you can go look it up on TikTok, all these other platforms. Even when my woman's cousin is in the army, right? This guy, he drives drones and shit. Well, they already saying that they giving them the lobster steak. That knows what that mean, right? The military, when they start giving you the lobster steak dinner, they're fattening you up. Get you ready. They give you the good dinners or the good meals to get you ready to let you know they're going to war. They did it in World War II. They did it in World War One. They did it in Vietnam.
Yeah. When I was in Iraq, all the meals that I ate were 5-star meals.
Who was it?
5-star meals. Yeah, it was in Iraq. All the meals. And I asked my sergeant who was over me. I asked him. I said, "Why we keep getting? All these meals are great, but they're there's a lot of food here." He's like, "Hey, this will be your last meal."
Wow. They already started to give him the prime cut meals. They call it. They literally give them steak and lobster.
But
You got fucking bull bites out there. He just ripping the lobster, eating this shit. But his dumb ass don't even know why they give him the meal, man.
right.
They get it started. It's already started. Like,
They had even the army on TikTok showing off. Oh, they gave us steak and lobster.
stupid ass.
She was slurping on it. Somebody put in the comments saying, this is the meal you get before you get sent off. And she said, no, I got no clue about that. That's your average soldier.
Yep.
Dildo head women.
What the fuck they fighting for?
Reaping those
You don't even know what's going. You in the midst of the shit. Don't know what's going on, man.
They could have put something in that meal too to have your mind, just like what the Germans did. Gave them basically what that was
I
meth.
think it's PCP, man.
Dude, they give all types of drugs.
Right.
bro.
It's been methamphetamine, so they didn't go to sleep. They just
Yep.
Until they started hallucinating and shit. They taking shit, they hallucinating, thinking they seeing aliens, and that's all. What that was on they put on?
That was with the
I think you got.
Oh, the night vision
Yeah.
thing? Yeah, what it,
that was the night vision shit. They was showing you how right before they started using green infrared lens, it was red at first. But it was called I put the name of the actual lens. The actual red lens that they were saying, but they're saying when they would use a red lens, they would see basically they would see the angels and shit. They'll see demons. Right? It actually switches to another. Esau even came out and says there's something about this particular glass switch things into another realm where you can see things. That's why it purposely switched over to the green lens that you see.
Like the red lid glasses.
Yeah, it's like that. And it's a whole bunch of military accounts of this, right? You ain't gonna need those lenses in the coming days. You're gonna see the angels, see your house shot for where it is with the keys, man. Right?
Says they shall see him as he is.
Yeah, you're gonna see him as he is, man. Revelation 1:7. All eyes shall see him.
Yeah, I could get that.
You know? Yeah, man.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Yeah, every eye shall see him. Clouds is the angels. He come in a big massive ship, man. To wage war on this side, man. And it says, it even goes into it says, even them that pierced him. And we know that the Lord was pierced over 2,000 years ago. Look what that means. Reincarnation. Those same centurions, those same people are walking around, and possibly they're in the army, man. They police officers or some shit in the society.
High-ranking officers of military, secret service, who knows?
Yeah, the Lord coming personally to deal with their ass, man. They're gonna smell this cologne. It's gonna be fragrance in the murder.
real close to your ass.
Real close. You people playing, man. You don't know what you really don't know what the fuck's gonna go down. All right, in these times.
Yeah, when you sign up for the army, you're going to fight against the Lord, man.
Yes.
Right? Whether you want to see that, whether you know it or not, the Lord is going to intervene in this whole war, man. To second entrance, you go and fight against the Lord, man. That's why we not going through that shit. I don't want to rock the sun. He don't put the spirit on us to do that, man.
I had a partner
You know?
that knew about the truth and a fucking fire pilot, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't intend on fighting the Lord. Man.
Yeah, don't you ain't
You're going yet there's fight.
don't make the
You're
fight.
going yet there's
That shit, man.
right.
Yeah, if you worry about me, you're gonna die.
Don't die.
I be seeing some crazy shit sometimes. We be flying and practicing. You gonna see a lot of crazy shit, man.
Right. You go.
Everybody still
Except it says right out what the Lord was going to do to them in Revelation 1 and 7.
bring it out.
It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen.
Right.
When you go into that word wail, the Greek word is kopto, which means to strike, to cut off. So the Lord's going to strike and cut off, okay, all you military personnel and you civilians, okay?
Right. Because if you go over there, it ain't no return. You know.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, here's Joel chapter 2, verse 20. And this is a prophecy from the Lord. It says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army." The northern army goes into what? The U.S. Army. You know, North America.
That's
You know.
And that's spirit, because I did a lesson yesterday. According to the AI overview, all right, there's 9 permanent U.S. military bases in the Middle East, and it said permanent.
Right.
Permanent. That's the Lord
Don't come back.
making
Right.
sure that they stay. The American military stays in the Middle East. So when he judges them,
Right. We gonna see him go over there in his robes, man.
Mhm.
You know. It says.
That ultimately, like, Iran was threatening to strike those U.S. military bases, but they hit them. Maybe did a little strike. The Lord pulled them back. Once that fire started to rain on them, and all nations got to jump. Russia had to get involved.
Right.
China had to get involved. So the gutter rats,
Right.
Even though little nations like Pakistan, they have nuclear weapons. India has nuclear weapons. All nations, even Hezbollah, like the brother said, the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah, North Korea, they have been backed by these,
Right.
by Russia. They've been supplied with weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be boots on the ground. It won't be a long drawn out war because the Lord said He's gonna speed up the times for us. But the Lord said He is gonna remove the army over there, man. You know.
That's what we waiting on, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're waiting to see those videos. What they call them? The V2 That's the cargo thing. The name of the cargo.
oh, C-130s.
C-130s lined up, and you see droves of soldiers going in the back of them. That's what we're waiting on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what we're waiting on.
Yep.
They all in formation, women, men, they lining up, going in those ships, in those planes, they flying off. Right? That's what we're waiting on, man.
Hey.
You know it's real then.
Mhm.
And you know those warbirds that they send over there? They call them flying gas stations, man. When them strikes, this shit was going down. Yo, the refillers and shit was going down. It's about to go down, man.
Hey, Joel 2 and 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate.
Yeah.
The Middle East.
And these, roughly around the region, World War III is going to be fought around the region of Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Right? Be exact. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, with his face toward the east sea, that's going into the Persian Gulf,
Right.
Yes.
and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, that's the Red Sea. So that land in between there, especially Saudi Arabia, that area.
Right. That's why you have U.S. Military warships all in the Red Sea, okay, and the Gulf, the Persian Gulf.
Mhm.
They're always there, man. All right, because the Lord keeps them there. Suez Canal, okay, the Strait of Hormuz, and all it takes is for the Persians to say, "We're shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. You got that war, it's creating gold."
Right.
Because what's over there? Oil.
Yeah.
The oil. You need oil to run this world, man. And America's and is trying to protect the supply of oil because they know if they cut that oil supply, the economy is shot.
The reason too, they bring it up the they call it the water, the river, Euphrates River.
Mhm.
The reason why the Lord is drying up the Euphrates River, it's been dry.
Mhm.
To be honest, it's been dry. You can go watch certain videos of it. That's to bring. That's so the U.S. can bring supplies, Humvees,
Yep.
all type of equipment across that riverbed to get to the war, man, and set up around the Red Sea.
Right, and also for the kings of the east, so that they
Yep.
It said in Revelation.
Yep.
It's deeper shit going on, man.
I'm gonna finish this off because when they get over there, the scriptures tell you,
Yes.
and his stink shall come up. So you ain't coming back. You're going over there to be devoured. You're going over there to drop dead. It says, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up because he has done great things. So if you're part of the American army, you get sent over there. You're going over there to get judged, man. You're going over there to fight against your Yahushua ultimately, man.
Going to funky town, right?
Right.
Going to funky town.
Mhm.
Hey, well, I'll bring the rest of this out. Shoot. 63 might be this class.
Yeah, I think that was.
This Revelation 19 and verse 13, it says, and he was clothed with vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. Let's just see how it shot. It says, and the armies which were in the heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Okay. All right, we're just talking about the elect and the angels, man. All right, why is Yahushua coming back with armies? Okay,
Right.
Armies are for waging war.
Right.
All right, Yahushua is coming back with the angels. All right, to deliver the elect and to wage war against the armies of the heathen nations, man.
Why would you have soldiers if you're not gonna let them get busy?
Right, exactly.
They ain't there for show.
Right, the Lord is called the Lord of hosts, man. The Lord of heaven's armies, man. So, you know, yeah, the Lord of Sabaoth, man.
Mhm.
The Lord is a man of war.
You know he with the shit that he said. If this was my kingdom, I served before, man.
Yeah.
So he with the shit. He just holding off to that day, man.
Right.
Well, he gonna get they gonna get busy though. Man,
You seen that movie Troy, right? The Greeks, they pulled over the army to the Trojans. You know, so that mean they was about the shit. You know, and they show you in the movie, it ain't matter how it went down. Their whole plan was to fight war the whole time, anyways. They wasn't coming for peace.
King Agamemnon,
Mhm.
he was salivating for Troy to slip.
Right.
Then when Perseus slept with his brother's wife, he's like, we're going to war.
Yep.
That's the whole pretext I need to bring all my armies to come take you down.
That's it.
Verse 15, it says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. What is a sharp sword for? All right. It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. All right. That with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. Okay, so that's going to that 2 Esdras 13th chapter where it says how he's going to just speak the word, man. All right, and all on a sudden of an innumerable multitude, there was nothing to be perceived but fire and the smell of smoke, man. All right, so he's about to dust you motherfuckers, man. All right, it says, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right, so the Lord is coming back with authority, man, to beat you nations into submission. All right, it says, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God. All right, so that's the covenant that the Lord is going to make with the fowls to do what? The birds, to do what? It says that ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains and the flesh of mighty men and the flesh of horses and of them that sit on them and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. All right, so it's basically letting you know how it's going to play out. Y'all going to be destroyed, and your carcass is going to be meat from the fowls of the heaven, brother.
That you go about. 2 Esdras chapter 13 and verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue. The word subdue means to overthrow.
Mhm.
Subdue the man that came out of the sea. King of Yahushua. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, what Edward saw back in ancient time, chariot, and flew up on it. But I would have seen the regional place wherein the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they're gonna see the Lord come back with the chariots, but they're gonna be afraid. That's what the scriptures say. All the kings of the earth shall mourn and wail because of him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which the word wail does go into kopta, which means to cut down. All right. But they're also gonna be screaming and afraid.
Yep.
When you see
know?
chariots, a chariot can reappear and disappear.
Yeah.
So they can go come into this dimension.
Right.
Remember, like a couple years ago, around when the thing was out here back in 2019 and 2020. I think it was the Iranian military was shooting at the chariot,
Yeah.
and the chariot was toying with them.
Yeah.
You know, basically
Yeah.
coming in one dimension,
Coming out, yeah, disappearing, reappearing.
Yeah.
You know, and the scripture say the Lord shall descend from heaven with a shout or the voice of the archangel, man. So the chariots are coming with noise, man. Coming to make noise, man. Literal noise, and be shooting layers of beams and lightning and energy projections and all of that, man. You know, affecting weather patterns, causing earthquakes and stuff, man. You know, destroying fighter jets, you know, whatever technology Esau got, you know,
shutting off nuclear reactors,
shutting them on, shutting them off, you know, messing with the satellites, messing with the grid. So that, the Lord's gonna come, you know, as a terror, man.
Right.
To the inhabitants of the earth, man.
They're gonna be spooked if they saw a chariot just sit there, a big chariot. Just all these people right now, heart was dropped.
Yeah, and then
But the chariot's gonna block out the sun. They're gonna be all over. It's gonna be 20,000, thousands of them, man.
Yeah,
and they're just gonna be sitting there like that.
Yeah.
Then do the destruction, man.
Right.
You know they're gonna be hella scared, man. But
Yeah.
the Lord gonna make them fight. You know, because this is all that they got. This is all that Esau got, anyways.
Yeah.
This is it for him. So of course he gonna try to fight.
Yeah,
you know,
they won't be able to see the sky, the sun, the moon,
right?
You know, the stars. They're not gonna be able to see that. They just gonna see features of the chariot. They just gonna see the features of the chariots. Them chariots gigantic. The brother read it in Second Ezra as a mountain shit. So he couldn't see the beginning of the end of it, man. So a chariot's gonna be big enough to just float over and just completely cover an entire state. Imagine a chariot the size of Texas, man.
Hey, if I say the Lord is a man of war, during Trump, when it was Trump was about 2019, 2020, he was bragging and boasting about the Space Force, saying there's no nation that has that's greater than the U.S. Air Force right now.
Yeah.
So the Lord is building them up.
Yeah.
For that spirit, for that actual order to take place.
Yeah.
I got one real fast. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 15. Thy almighty word leap from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction, and brought untimely, unfamed commandments as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death. Right? It says, and touched the heavens, but it stood upon earth. Then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terror came upon them without unlooked for. And one thrown here, and another there have dead showed the cause of his death. Right? It says, for the dream that troubled them had foreshown this, lest they should perish and not know why they were affected.
That's going back to the Exodus.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord sent the destroyer, the death angel, which was Yahweh Shai, all right, through the Egyptians' houses, man, was slaughtering their ass, man. You know, they was dying suddenly, seeing visions that they were scared, you know, that really, you know, scared them to death. You know,
coming back too.
Yeah, man. So that's Yahweh Shai come and bring back to bring death upon Babylon, man. You know, upon this whole wicked world, man, and deliver the elect while he's at it, man.
Like the other scene. So build up in Exodus the 14th chapter, you got the nation of Israel, Moses, faced with Pharaoh and his horsemen in the Red Sea. They were saying, well, we could have went back to Egypt for all this. And Moses was pretty much like, these horsemen and Pharaoh have to say, hey, you're not going to see him anymore. Lord performed that great miracle. Exodus chapter. It was great. The Lord is a man of war. The horsemen rock, he's going to the sea, and that's about to happen. It's going to be a sea of fire this time.
Yeah,
I got that. The Revelation So Revelation 18. I'm gonna start at 18 or 17. For in 1 hour, so great riches is come to north,
Yes.
and every shipmaster and all the company and ships, because it says in Isaiah 23 that the crowning city of the merchants, which is America, right? By trade, you like you said, they're the center of the people that's gonna be willing, all right, because they what? They traded and
Yeah.
imported particular things. This is where they made their living off.
Yeah.
All right. It says, and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, the great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness.
Yeah. So they're gonna see America, be lit on fire by the missiles and by the chariots too, because the Lord is coming with the chariots to rain fire upon Babylon too. The scripture say, who is this that's coming from Edom with dyed garments with Bosra, man? So y'all fucked. Babylon is through.
And Isaiah 13 neither shall the Arabian fish tip there.
Yeah.
Right.
Meaning not gonna be everything shuts down.
Yep.
You take your ass back over there to the so-called Middle East.
Yeah.
See the destruction take place.
20:27. Yeah, this was the joy city, man. All right. When you look in Isaiah, the crowning merchants of the earth, which is now America, is that. There she have been a golden cup in the hand of the Lord, man. All right. But the Lord about to what? Shut it down. Got a little more. For in 1 hour is she made desolate.
1 hour.
1 hour, man.
The Lord gonna make quick work of this place, man.
Yep.
Yeah, Isaiah
So it's gonna be say, man. The day of the Lord coming both with wrath and fierce anger to make the land desolate. Okay, all right. The Lord ain't coming back to play, man. He coming back to clean house real quick, man.
Yeah.
All right. The Lord said, well, he gonna speak with the beast of destruction, man.
Right. Verse 20.
No, you finish.
Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God had avenged you on her.
Right, because that's one of the reasons why America has to go out. Okay, because when they first of all, hey, we already know, the daughter of Babylon, Edom, has a perpetual hatred against Jacob, which we seeing it as we speak, man. Right. All right. Really, Babylon the Great is going to be spearheading the time of Jacob's trouble for our people here in America and all around the globe, man. All right, we were brought over here in cargo slave ships prior to that. These Edomites was slaughtering Gad and Reuben and other northern tribes. So and that hatred has not gone away, man. Like we always say, the original Edomite is coming back. All right, he's coming back with a vengeance, and he's going to come against not just the average Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but he's going to come against the prophets, man. That's right. Okay, those of us who really believe in Yahweh Shema Shai, that say there shall be a great insurrection against those that fear the Lord, man. All right, the scriptures say in Revelation the 17th chapter, it says that she was drunk with the blood of the saints, man, and of the prophets, man. So they're gonna come down with that bullshit, a beheading, all summary execution against us, just because we read the Bible, man, just because we believe in Yahweh Shema Shai, man. So this judgment that's coming upon Babylon, all right, it's going to be the Lord avenging, what Babylon has done, is doing, and is getting ready to do.
Right.
Okay.
Verse 21. And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all.
Right. So the Lord's coming back to throw Babylon down, man. All right. It should say, sit on the ground, for there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt be called no more tender and delicate in the Lady of Kingdoms, man. Okay, which if somebody could get that, man, America's a long time. Fuck you, crackers up, man.
I got it. This is the book of Isaiah. Look, the title says Lament for Babylon. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Right. And who's the daughter of the Chaldeans, the daughter of Babylon? All right, it's dealing with the nation of Edom, man.
Right.
All right, and really, at the head of it is Babylon the Great. Okay, granted, the elites don't, really rock here in America. They be over there in Europe and shit, different parts of the earth and shit. But they really America, like the scripture say, has that golden cup. Okay, that's their means of influencing the planet Earth. In their direction, man, in their image, So America, you average American Edomites, okay, that have that prideful spirit of America, and you American politicians and leaders, all right, y'all got to get the judgment too.
Yep.
It's y'all all in it. It's all of you motherfuckers, man. All you brood of fucking vipers, man. You Edomites ain't innocent, man. They try to play this fucking moral high ground. Oh, it's the elites. Oh, it's the Israelis. It's this, it's that. No, it's all of you motherfuckers. Ain't none of y'all right.
The elites weren't doing picnics,
Yeah.
picking niggas and hanging Jake
Yeah.
in the KKK.
Right.
Right.
And doing experiments
Right.
in laboratories and shit.
These are
You know?
actually-
It's be average Edomites, man. Shit like antebellum and
Right.
shit like that, man. And get out. Bro, art imitates life. Y'all be into shit like that.
The elites didn't do Rosewood.
Yeah.
Right, Rose.
You know?
That was
Yeah.
That was some regular
Yeah.
pissy ass,
Yeah.
fucking evil ass Edomite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
The KKK.
Yep.
But now y'all got new names like police officers and doctors and judges,
Yep.
and you wonder why the system is so skewed against Jake, man, because you Edomites have that perpetual hatred, man. That's right. Okay, from the chief of you all the way down to you regular Edomites, and that hatred has been woven into the system that we live in today. That's why Jake always gets the short end of the stick and a boot in their ass, man.
This too. One of the main things, even the clan of old, what they done, they have taken their members and joined the army to learn military tactics and how to make explosives and shit, man.
Mhm.
They always been the same. They just took off the robes. Fuck the brothers doing it. They just took off the robes and
Right.
came with the ties, suit and ties and shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
judges and shit.
And police uniforms,
Yeah.
military uniforms and shit, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's why you always got to do all these things brothers bringing out. Y'all got to always change colors, man. Like a damn chameleon, man. Like a fucking snake, a serpent.
Yeah.
Deceiver.
Camouflage. Yeah, you want to know why you got to do that? Because you know that your intentions are not right.
That's right.
Okay, that's why it's always things coming out about Esau. It's not everything. It's not ever just them just coming up straight up with it. It's always a plot within a plot within a plot within a plot. It's a scheme always,
Right,
man.
right. Like private prison industry, the private prison industrial complex, man.
Yeah.
That's feeding communities, man. So they need Jake to be in the prison house so that the community can still function. So all these corrupt cops and these judges, man, they got to fill up the prison house, man. They call it the prison industrial complex, man. This is even on the stock market, man.
But that's
Yeah.
why.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's on the stock
That's
market.
fucked up, bro.
Yeah, that's why you Jakes, you don't understand this thing. I'm sure you brothers too, man. It's a thing called, you ever seen George Maxwell, the law of color? It goes into the law of color and what it actually means, right? The reason for nations having a flag. You Jakes don't have representation. You don't have a flag. You don't really truly, according to the law of color, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you really don't really exist in America.
Right.
Mhm.
You just doing shit. They got you working and entertaining. But you don't really truly exist here
Yeah.
in this corporation.
Yeah, you're
Right.
really just a body, man.
Yeah.
Even first of all, Judah is
Yeah.
okay. All your leaders are all sellouts. Every facet of society that y'all enter into, it's always compromised against you, no matter what you do. And then you got other tribes like Benjamin and Levi and Simeon, Ephraim and Manasseh and the rest of the other tribe and Gad and Reuben. They don't got any true representation, man.
Right.
They're the leaders of them countries. They might have a black or brown face, man, but they be sold out to the elites, and a lot of them be fucking Edomites, man.
Right.
All right, it be these Arab corporations, these Amalekite corporations, these European corporations that run that whole shit, man. Okay, and if any one of them leaders grow a conscience, they end up assassinated or some shit, man.
Right. And the other was just going into a flag. A flag. Another word for flag is a banner.
Yeah,
Something for you to rally under.
yeah,
And the only banner that we have is Yahweh shot five people, man. Because you can have a Haitian flag, you can have this, man. Esau controls that, man.
right.
You know?
Yeah, that's why really all the nations in the Caribbean and Latin America and shit, Those are all vassal states of the
Right.
Roman system.
Con.
Okay, they're just vassal states of America, France, Spain, Portugal, and Great Britain. That's all that shit is.
Right.
Back then, you used to have a part of Rome called York. It just York. I think York, Rome. But when they established America, what they put over the first New York, the first big city they put on a high level was New York.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, they put the UN there with the thing Caesar used to wear,
The wreath.
the wreath and shit, man. They established it. This is the new Rome.
Yeah.
That's why they call it New York City instead of just York. The old York is gone, man.
Mhm.
This is the new one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read something real quick.
Yeah, bring it up.
Just to back up, how a lot of these Caribbean and Central and South American states are nothing more than just vassals for the U.S. This was an actual doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine is a United States foreign policy position that opposes European colonialism in the Western Hemisphere. It holds that any intervention in the political affairs of the Americas by foreign powers is a potential hostile act against the United States. So what it's saying is, look, any other nation trying to get in on Central and South America, these Caribbean things, it's a direct confrontation with U.S. geopolitical policy.
Right. Yeah, but America's still allies with them European countries anyway. They're allies to the French and the Spanish and the Portuguese and the British.
That's right.
Okay, so that's why the Caribbean and Latin America and Central America, we all fucked up, man. It's on purpose, man.
Exploitation.
Especially Haiti, man.
Yeah.
This nigga, he still hates you Levites to this day, man.
Yep.
Call you people hell. Why you got it so jacked up, man? You making cake. What do you call them?
Yeah, the mud pies and
Mud
shit.
pies
Yeah.
and shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have to do that. They it's a get back. They trying to get their lick back, but they always want to just keep Jake oppressed. Okay, and any form of resistance is always got to be. It always has to be compromised, put down. Okay, because Esau wants to feel like he's the big man on the block.
And but remember, even Trump said it. Anywhere it's brown people or black, it's a hellhole. He said something about it being a hellhole, right?
Yeah, but that's by design. That's
That's
always by design. That's what you Edomites can't. Y'all just try to not admit that it's by design because of course it's gonna be a shithole. You hate these people, man,
Right.
and you're the one in power.
I got a precept back
Fuck.
in the same chapter, just jumping down to Isaiah chapter 47, verse 6. I was wroth with my people.
Mhm.
I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
Right.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Right. So Esau is about oppressing the Lord's people, man. He shows them no mercy. So again, look, man, this is a system that's built off of Edomite hatred towards the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Bottom line. Okay. Anything that our people have tried to do to rebel or to revolt or to set up some type of system for themselves has always been met with resistance, has always been compromised in some way, shape, or form, man. So don't act. You might try to act like, oh, the condition is Haiti because the Haitians just can't. It's you doing this on purpose, man. You put them people in debt after they whooped your ass.
Con.
I made them pay
You
reparations.
pay reparations to you, even though you had them in slavery. You set up puppet leaders in governments.
I forgot.
Fuck.
Right.
And he's done the same thing throughout the Americas and the rest of the world. Like,
He's the way he pays back.
yeah.
Then I forgot the actual resources that Haiti had, but they were going back then with the earthquake. He went over there and purposely used the harbor. Put a major earthquake over there. He went over there and he took something. There was some type of resource that Haiti had.
All type of resources, including gold.
Yeah, they went and took the shit, and then they found video of the soldiers
Raping children.
yeah, raping children.
Yeah.
And putting, I think, the cholera in the
Yeah.
water, man.
Raping the so-called Haitian children. They leave
Yeah.
our children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little boys and little girls,
Yup.
not just women.
Yeah.
And then they
Got pregnant too.
Yeah.
They showed videos of them putting the actual sacks of cholera. The shit looked like some white, looked like salt on, but it's showing them putting it in the water and shit, man.
Yeah.
Making people sick. That's like I say. That's why you really hate the internet, man. Because the internet, right along with the men in the law, has exposed your ass on a lower scale.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's gonna shut it down.
A video live, like we going live right now through the feed. People can actually live stream you doing some fucked up shit, man.
Mhm.
Once it's out there, it's out there. It get copied by this person, saved by this person.
Yeah.
It's always out there, man.
Right.
So the internet right along with the middle law has exposed you.
Yeah.
Yep.
What he said, he ate the day the internet was created.
Yep.
The internet wasn't created for you to watch some big 300-pound broad run on a treadmill and fall off and hit the wall behind.
Right. Yep.
Right? The internet wasn't made.
Yeah, so you can see Timmy's first steps.
Yeah, yeah, man. That one, you can
Cat stance.
you can definitely see that the internet was created for this truth, man.
Yes.
Right.
For this truth. Period.
Unicorn.
Once the apostles got on the airways of 2007, this thing been like a wildfire, man. You got brothers waking up all around the world. Right?
Yes, bro.
That line of truth has went out and have woken the men into where we remember ourselves. We have come back. And we have pointed the finger at the fucking head of the snakes, man. The reason why all this fucking shit is happening, man.
Wait.
You fucking Edomites, man. And you hate that. Look what that brother was going into earlier. There's gonna come a time where you're gonna try to take us out, man. Hit wise and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't do it, bro.
Something like that.
Bounty hunters and shit.
Yes.
You know, we gonna have a fucking money on our head, man. Real soft, man.
What you
You know?
Hey, they show you in movies like John Wick that they have societies like that. They put out a call, 20 million on his head.
Yeah.
He got motherfuckers just leave and go, you know, they
They
go.
program like
They go in front,
program
man.
to come get your ass, man.
They show you the dog. John Wick is more about this nigga doing karate and shoot. They show you a society within a society, man.
Yeah.
It's in the shadows, man.
Same thing. You watched the movie Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
White supremacy. They get those text messages. They call it the asset. CIA contacts the asset to go kill someone that they don't like.
Mhm.
Just get the call and they on the move.
Killing some
CIA does that all the time.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
Oh, hey, what happened over there in Iran? They, you know, the JJs. They cooked those generals or those mad scientists in Iran.
Yeah. Nuclear scientists too.
Yeah, because we was talking about you in the car. We were like, mainly, oh shit, mainly this brother here. We were talking about you in the car. He was wondering if you ever read a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
I've heard of it, but I never read it.
That's the book right there.
Yeah, but even in that book,
So there.
even when you read that book, you know, I skimmed through it. I read different parts of it, but it tells you that Esau has weapons.
Yep.
This nigga got hitmen.
Got it.
Mhm.
Economic hitmen, and he has actual hitmen that will take you out.
They can look like that never happened.
Buildings way over there and shit, man. You know,
Right.
Accidental and shit. Like.
They call them the jackals.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
That's right.
3 levels. First is the economic hitmen that go to these leaders with these countries that have resources, and he says, look, we're going to give you the bag. Make sure you, your children's children's going to run this country as long as you deal with us. Just let these U.S. corporations come in and set up shop.
Yeah, basically sell your nation out to the elites.
Yep.
You know,
Implement democracy.
implement democracy. But if you speak up against it, now you got to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming with the sword.
Then they send in the jackals, which are the CIA assassins. And if they don't get you, then they send in the Leviathan force, which is code name for the U.S. military that comes and
Just get around these.
sets up that buffer.
That's
Right.
like serpent and
Yeah, and the thing is, if sometimes before they do that, they'll probably fund different gangs and militias. And that's what's happening in Haiti. That's what happened. That's what happened in Syria.
Yeah.
You know, setting up different resistances. Yeah, that's what they do. Because Esau's already been exposed, so they're like, okay, damn, we can't just roll up in there with the U.S. military now. Now let's try to fund different gangs inside the country and pay them off.
Yeah.
You know, to create the chaos necessary for us to go in there face. You know,
the video came out of they got airdrops. They showing you a dude in the Middle East running with a camera, a cell phone, showing you the U.S. airdrop. U.S. planes dropping. The shit go, parachutes down. They tear the shit open. They get the grenades or get the smoke containers.
Yeah.
Say made in USA on them.
I think
The guns are fucking. What the fuck? They in Syria.
And they got US. You got US.
We got M4A1s and shit. Man.
Yeah,
Because it's profitable. War is profitable.
exactly. man.
You remember too?
Yeah, yeah.
War's a rank.
Well, a couple of months back, a year back, they left all the U.S. military equipment over there.
Yeah, Afghanistan.
Yeah, tell them, come on, man.
Right.
And you fucking numbskulls, you dummies.
Yeah, y'all can't see that.
Drones over here can't see that shit.
Right.
Yep.
All these cartels and gangs throughout the Latin America and the Caribbean, destabilizing the country, making Northern Tribe and Levi and Benjamin want to leave. Where are they getting all these guns from, man? Because the Latin America and the Caribbean, both of their economies are based off of agriculture. So what the fuck?
What nigga ever been able to afford boats of coke coming in, man, to America, passing all the surveillance, all of that shit, and being able to run an empire basically
Right.
by making money off of drugs in America?
No, Frank Lucas did it.
Come on, man.
He got at one time out here, they got out of control out here. Yeah, they call
Right.
it Cocaine City. Yeah,
Right. Cocaine capital.
going on, man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Right. They got a new series coming out talking about the real Scarface is talking about the drug dealers from down here, Bo Diddley and shit. Talking about Jake, you know?
Yeah.
Man, them niggas was little niggas, man. Puppets, man.
What my man always say? He say, Rabbi Finkelstein, if you ever listen to that old radio station, he said, man, we set up all your top drug dealers, all drug dealers.
Everybody.
See, we set up them all. And say, when we get tired of them, just chop them down and make them
Put another one in.
Right.
Yep.
Free El Chapo out of here. Let's
Yeah,
get somebody.
because they know Jake get a little big headed.
Mhm.
You know, Jake. That's the thing about Jake. It's your minds are slow enough. Your brain just don't work, man.
Destroyed for black.
You know what I'm saying? Like they'll sell out to Esau, you know, and then try to make a little money or get a little influence, and then try to turn that same influence against Esau.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way, man.
They set you up.
You know, and then what's Esau knows that. That's why they're selling out shit. It never works, man. And no matter what industry Jake is in, whether it's music, whether it's in the gangs, drug, politics, they'll sell out a little bit and then they'll try to get some influence. And then once they you know get the influence, they try to use the influence to break away from Esau.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why these different celebrities and musicians and gangsters and fucking politicians be getting clipped, man.
Ain't no
They humiliate you. They humiliate you.
It's no outlet, man. Only way you get out is you die. Once you make that agreement,
That cover. Yeah.
yeah.
Get it right with hell. I got that for you.
They bring it out.
Isaiah 28 and 16. So like a brother.
You niggas too. You niggas in that Hollywood world, you gonna
Hey,
you gonna learn
Yeah.
real fast about dealing with Esau, man.
the black
Yeah.
baby.
They don't give a fuck. Listen to Angie Stone, they got put down.
Mhm.
She wanted to get her royalties and shit.
Yep.
Hey,
They clipped her ass, man. They took her ass out, man.
hey,
Prince.
Prince, Mike.
Right.
like I said before, we're dealing with some motherfuckers that they have a whole 757 jet, 200 and some passengers on. They want to kill one motherfucker. They'll kill everybody on that plane just for killing you.
Right.
Look at the Titanic.
Right.
The history of the Titanic.
Yeah.
They wanted to get a couple
That
niggas.
ain't the real Titanic ever. That was the ship called the Olympia, man.
Yeah. That was
It looked identical as the Titanic, but those so-called world leaders of back then had a man in the wake of their plans, and what they did took his ass out.
Right.
It was an action mix.
Who the fuck is
They
Jamie
blew it up.
Foxx in them?
Yep.
Who the
Right.
fuck is a Lil Wayne nigga in them? It's nothing.
Twin Towers, man. You crazy?
That too.
It was John Jacob Astor. They took it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They took their own shit down in 9/11 and go
Right.
War's a racket. You know?
They killed American soldiers. In Pearl Harbor, they killed American soldiers.
Right.
Just to testify and them doing what they need to go do, man.
Exactly.
Those people, life is nothing to them.
Gulf of Tonkin in Vietnam, which the gutter rats set that up to get Americans into the Vietnam War.
You fucking dumbest,
They'll
man.
let the Iranians bomb the shit out of the state of Israel just so they could justify war.
Yep. That's what they going now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that Isaiah 28 for you too.
Yeah.
I have it too.
Yeah. Oh,
I had that Isaiah 28 for you for the black boule. You know, the people selling out, you know, the different people. This is Isaiah 28 and 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scars shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and other falsehood that we hid ourselves.
You made lies a refuge, man. Right? You also made that going to you Jakes that are sold out. Israelites are on his side that are sold out all around the world, man. It don't matter. You still gonna go down with this devil, man.
Right.
Right? It don't matter. It don't matter. You sign a $20 million contract. That's what you. That's him. Most of the other plans for your ass.
Right.
All right.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, we got it. That's
So,
That's spiritual. Now, we have made a covenant and a contract. We enter an agreement with the Lord according to rights.
Right.
Well, life, man.
Right.
I said, cheat.
She is dead.
Right.
Deuteronomy 30.
You gonna serve it.
Hell
Made a
yeah.
covenant with Satan to think you straight.
Right.
That's about to tell you. I'm gonna jump to 18. Let's get to the point.
That's what Eve fell for.
Mhm.
That's what that's why the earth is in the state it's in right now. All right, because Eve, made a covenant with the serpent, and she got her husband Adam, who was Yahweh Shai in the reincarnation, to agree, man. And now death is in the world. Wickedness is in the world, man.
Yep.
But hey, Yahweh Shai came back and corrected that. For his nation begin with the elect, man.
What this devil is known for breaking every contract he ever made, man.
Right.
All the peace treaties.
Right.
Right here, I'm showing you all the time that no matter what, then they made a ceasefire, and then they said they broke the ceasefire. This is a bunch of plan, man. This devil in his contracts is where he gets you in clauses, different thing. And the fine print, the redefined print is where he actually nail your ass, man.
Right.
All right?
Right. And he did the same thing to Gad and
Gad and Ruth, the peace treaties. He broke every last one of them.
Right. Right.
Seen
400.
the fine print yesterday. Man. I put you buy a meal. This nigga got 20% added into the on the corner of the menu.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
10%.
And a 7 and a 2%.
Right.
So you just spend 29% and they ain't telling you. It's in a right cone in a small box, man.
You want to watch? It's crazy.
Right. And then once he's done slaughtering you and fucking you over, he'll change the narrative to try to justify why it wasn't that bad. Like with Gad and Reuben and Northern Tribe, that shit is offensive as fuck. They really when they really around the world telling people that Gad and Reuben and the different native tribes that were here in the Americas didn't build anything, man, and that's not true, man.
Right.
They had language, they had cities, they had medicine, they had gold, they had agriculture.
Cities.
They had different cities, man.
Yep.
All right. I remember Osh was bringing
Right.
this out
Right.
months ago, man. He was talking about how the Amazon rainforest is really like kind of like a garden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the tribe of Asher and Naphtali down there were actually like deliberately planting certain trees for certain purposes, man.
They got some
You know what I'm saying? They had all type of infrastructure and things, aquifers, all kind of shit, man.
Okay.
The
Mississippi River was purified with clean water where the guy can actually go there and drink it.
Yeah.
Take your ass down there now, you would die instantaneously.
But according to Esau's white supremacy, they were just over here being savages
No.
and sacrificing.
No.
But
Them Edomites would have died the first couple years over
Fuck.
here, man. They didn't know what to do with the soil over here. They didn't know what to do with shit, man.
No,
Jake taught them how to do things,
Cultivate, right.
cultivate over here, and it took them years, man. It took them years.
Right, and you're right, man, because like you said, the Edomites would have died within days, man.
Mhm.
Because America's terrain, as far as the Americas in general, it's really like probably some of the most diverse in the world. Like you got deserts, you got swamps, you got forests, you got jungles,
Mountains,
hills, valleys, like
Got it all.
Sounds like garden.
Gad and Reuben and the different tribes had to know the land.
Mhm.
And that's how Esau came over here and they were able to survive, because they got the knowledge from Gad and Reuben on how to survive and stuff and not overwork the land, not put yourself in bad positions,
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
And
they knew to stay in them fucking caves.
Yeah, and then this man came and fucking slaughtered everybody.
Right. He knew the sword,
Yeah.
you know.
And then over there in Africa, they got the nerves to say, we was just over there in loincloths, bookada.
Yeah.
But here we had kingdoms and shit. We had kingdoms and libraries and gold and spices.
He that. He brought over here doctors and stuff.
Yeah.
And he brought over here architects. And even the so-called explorers like Christopher Columbus and Vespucci on their ships, on their explorations, they had Southern Kingdom explorers on there,
Yeah.
That's right.
who helped to guide them. Because Christopher Columbus, Vespucci, them niggas was bankers, man. Them niggas wasn't no real explorers and navigators.
Yeah.
Vespucci had never navigated anything in his life. He lied.
His men was never prisoners.
Man with him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I heard that his men, the men that were with
prisoners.
it was prisoners.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's like like you were saying, man, like it doesn't even make any sense. Like you go and enslave people that don't know how to do shit.
Right.
No, you gotta enslave people that are doctors, that are, you know what I'm saying, that know stuff, that like farmers know how to work the land, know how to navigate, or warriors.
Yes, brother.
You know, and that when you read the scriptures in the book of Daniel, all right, they went after the king's seed, the people that was wise, and you know they knew
Skilled.
they skilled, they exactly,
I
man.
get it, Daniel 1:4.
You know, so that's how it works, man. But Esau, because he's a proud devil, he likes to lie and paint himself like he's just the best shit since sliced bread or some shit. Like he just that nigga. He gotta undermine everybody else's accomplishments and then take the accomplishments as his own, man. Which is fucked up, man. You're a fucking thief and a liar, man.
This Daniel.
That's what I was gonna say. We were talking about the fine print. Y'all notice too. When this nigga ever he ready to lie to you on a commercial, he talk real fast.
Yep. Oh, it's gonna cause depression and maybe even death.
Maybe even death. I said.
Psychological depression, 36 hours.
It may cause a stroke, heart attack, and cancer.
Maybe this little.
Yeah.
The commercial flashes and they had the little print real fast.
Yeah.
But they'll say, "Oh, we showed you." You know,
Yeah.
you took it anyway.
Right. And you know what's crazy now? See, that's the thing. Like now we're accustomed to seeing them put certain things in the fine print or put it on the labeling on the tool or on the box of the produce or in the ingredients.
Yep.
Going back 50, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, it wasn't like that, man.
Right.
It's because they started getting caught up on cases and shit. And lawsuits was put against them. That's when they started, you know, even back then, like the menus at certain fast food restaurants, you know, they didn't always have the calorie count and all. They didn't always have that. They were just poisoning your ass. But because they got caught up on so many charges and stuff like that, now they gotta tell you. So at least they told you that they poisoned you.
You know, that's why you brothers gotta get into the coatings of food. I remember back probably like 2010. I was kind of like researching all that shit. Like y'all brothers ever seen you buy like back then you buy a cereal, they have a cross on it on the front and like a little bitty cross, like a circle with a C or a K.
Yeah.
That was an indication for those gutter rats to know it's kosher to eat this and that. From regular people eating. You know, that was they all do shit in symbols.
The triangle on the circle.
Yeah.
Thing all over.
Yeah, all that. I had the list back then. It tell you what all that shit mean, and all it was a secret communication with the 1948ers.
Mm-hmm.
When they go in the store, they know what to eat. You know, nobody said. I told you about before. You don't. There's one thing about the gutter rat. You don't see them in your high schools, elementary schools, middle school. You don't even see them in a fucking hospital. Where they going at?
Yeah.
Colleges.
You don't see them.
Yeah, you don't see them.
Yeah.
You don't
Right.
see them being sick
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
because it's a cold thing going on behind the scenes. They know how to communicate without even communicating. With
Right.
Like I said,
And they
that's
know
like-
that, and that's what makes them devils. They know that. They know that they got these people out here eating poison. A regular JJ know that, man. They know that everybody out here eating poison, but you eat this because you know what's up. You up on game.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, but where are they in the hospitals at? You
Right.
don't see them. You don't see them in the clinic. You don't see them nowhere.
Right.
They got specialized hospitals and clinics that's
Yeah.
just for them.
Yeah,
They
and
do it very, very in-house.
that's right.
Yeah.
And-
They make the kids go to Montessori.
Right.
Yeah,
They get that from the scriptures, man. Because
Where
the
you
scriptures,
subscribe?
they eat
Where
the book.
the hell?
Yep.
What the fuck?
They're the chosen people. That's why they moved that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
in here.
Right.
Righteously wicked.
Right.
What 1948 is that's crying out, you know, for being poor and you know,
Right.
what they at on the streets,
Yeah.
Right.
poor and shit and afflicted,
Right.
you know?
Because that's what the Bible says that the
And
Israelites.
they're the chosen.
Right.
They're the chosen.
Right.
They would be afflicted. They would be meek and
Right.
poor and low
Right.
in insignificant places. Blind and sign.
And
Right.
being ruled over by the Edomites.
Right.
Right. They got Babylon back in.
Yeah.
Babylon giving them weapons and
Yeah.
money. All right.
Right.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
tax-free education.
Yeah. And ultimately the curses, man.
Yeah.
Right? You know you'll be able to tell, man. But this is Daniel 1:4, because you brought out about Jake is the former of all things,
Right.
and we're the people that actually cause their society to flourish, right?
Yeah.
Right? Even though we the poors and lowest, though yet we the ones spend all the damn money and help
Yeah.
their economies. All right, all the other nations come in and set up shop in Jake neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Them Arab stores not in Edom shit, man. They're in the corner in Jake shit.
Right.
All right, and they're flourishing. They're bringing them Chinamen, the Moabites. Where they set up at? those hair salons and shit in
Yeah.
Drake neighborhoods, man.
Right, they
Right.
having a corner store for decades.
For decades, making billions of dollars, man. Now Ravens, all right, this is
Selling fake joy.
fake,
Yep.
fake everything.
You got ass cooking fried chicken.
Cooking
right?
chicken, man.
Yeah, you got all bites cooking fried chicken.
Cooking chicken.
Right.
It ain't fried chicken.
More
that's
peanuts.
Double, man. That's double.
Bat wings.
Always.
This Daniel, this Daniel 1 and 3. So,
Big motherfucking always.
That's why you gotta pray over your food, brothers.
Yeah, brother.
That's everything about.
yeah, the Lord,
You gotta pray. You gotta pray over your food.
That's right.
and the Lord protecting us, because
Yeah.
even though we praying over our food, we still getting it from the enemy, man.
Mhm.
Right? But we do have faith that the Lord, you know, the angels are, and they're doing that, right? Because
Right.
we're gonna be able to pick up serpents and eat them and live.
Right.
All right. But ultimately,
Poison.
yeah, ultimately, man, you know, there was a condition of the curses too.
Mm-hmm.
Did not it was Jeremiah that ate the dung cakes? Was it it was Jeremiah?
God, that was an Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, so like, you know that, you know, basically he showed them an analogy of you eating dung cakes, man. He wasn't eating them then, but just generally,
Right.
that's what we was going to be followed, man.
Right.
All right. This Daniel 1 and 3, and the kings spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of the eunuchs, that he should bring in certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom and cunning and knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palaces,
Yeah,
Right.
and whom they may teach the learning in the tongue of the Chaldeans.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So when you enslave the people,
man.
you got to take the people with skill, man.
Yeah.
All right, that's why Jake and slavery, they came up with all these different inventions, man. You know, and you got these Amalekites out here that be like trying to say, oh, you know, they are so innovative and shit like that. Well, the scriptures do say that Esau is wise. All right. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily make y'all the Israelites. Y'all try to conflate the fact that, you know, Edomites do have some level of worldly wit to them. All right, with y'all being the actual Jews, but that's not the truth, man. When you read the scriptures, anytime it's the Israelites were on the bottom, and because of their skill and because of the favor of the Lord, they were able to actually benefit the kingdom that they were enslaved to, like Joseph and Moses and Daniel.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Nehemiah, Ezra, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Esther, Mordecai. You know what I'm saying? These different, you know, Zerubbabel. You know, that's the example that you have in the scriptures. The people that were on the bottom, that were enslaved, that were oppressed, the Lord gave them a certain level of wisdom and skill and favor to help them benefit the kingdom that they were enslaved to. All right, and that's the narrative that you see with our people on the side. They are on the bottom, but they still great inventors and musicians and innovative in all different kind of ways, from Judah all to the rest of the tribes, man.
But guess what?
You know?
Even on a deeper note, even with the birds you see, men that you see in this trio are probably the most talented men on the planet Earth. The Lord chose us, and we chose to follow after the Lord, man. The brothers was NFL players, all types of shit.
Elite, man.
Musicians, all that shit. If we wanted to pursue that shit, hey, we could have been whatever the fuck in the society, but we don't give a damn about this shit.
Right.
We didn't get that fame and whatever else skills the Lord gave us in the kingdom. We focus our skills on this. Fuck the world, man.
Right.
Yeah.
This shit about to burn.
Yeah.
If I could add, what make us more greater in wisdom than the wicked is that we have a spiritual wisdom and knowledge, man.
Yeah.
All right, because it says the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Right.
So they are not actually smart, and by being the first fruits created, don't you think we would teach them the laws and how to learn and listen and do everything, man?
Right.
So we greater than them, man.
They really fools. The Lord like his wickedness to foolishness, man. You know, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God, man. They just wise to do wickedness, man.
That's it.
They think they can actually keep on going forever. You know?
A lot of you motherfuckers just gotta fire your mouthpiece, man.
Yeah.
You know, you can just talk your
Work
way
in the ears of the people.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of you motherfuckers just got connections and shit. All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. You're not really smart like that.
And they dumbed us down, right? That was done by default. When Jake dumbed down, you could tell a person anything.
Mhm.
They don't look through the Willie Lynch letter. What they did, change the minds of the people. And now what? You can tell them anything.
Hey,
Right?
Look, you had a 50-year head start.
They don't even
in
got no
your
damn
education system. Jake's still
On
gonna pass you.
the real.
You know?
Yeah, but they don't ever report that. They don't ever bring that out. They bring out the niggas that they want you to see. Okay.
Right. Sexy
You know,
red.
and even the whole intelligent bullshit is all fucking bullshit, man. That was all based off of racism and white supremacy. That was the pretext to that whole IQ bullshit, man.
Right.
Okay.
I got a precept
Yeah.
real quick. Psalm 17, because you brought out Tulsa. See, verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." See, the Lord put us up on game of righteousness, and we understand this nigga is a sword, man. This nigga is the devil. He come not to kill, steal, and destroy. While niggas is joining hand in hand with him, we begging the Lord for mercy and protection from this man. Because this man about to come down, because he see that he has but a short time to rule. So he about to lose his shit. And all you niggas that's tied up with him, you niggas gonna be confounded, man. You know, the scriptures say those that consented to him shall be had in derision, man. You gonna see this nigga that is the devil. You should be able to see it now. It ain't no excuse to not see it, man. You know?
Because he can't manipulate you no more. The only thing he's known for is what? The sword.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's a spear, a weapon. So now that he can't deceive the people and lie to the people no more, he gonna come with what? His blessing.
Gotta get
which is the sword. That nigga gotta get corner, man.
Yeah.
The same sword he's been blessed with.
He gonna use
it. Gonna be used against him, take his ass out of
To
power.
take him out too.
Like you better cast him down, oh Lord. They're
Yep.
taking him down.
Yep.
Even by him dropping that direct energy weapon that did that dude over there what it was in Hawaii. Or
Hawaii.
something like
That's the judgment of the Lord.
You set up cameras to basically surveillance, global surveillance to watch the people. It's been used against you to catch what you're doing.
Right. Right.
Let you know, a lot of times with a lot of this shit, you know how it's fake and bullshit. These motherfuckers be having a 360 view of the whole event.
Yeah.
They got a ground view of it. They got different angles and shit.
Yeah.
Like I always bring out about the shit with Rosa Parks. How the fuck they get all those pictures of Rosa Parks just sitting there gazing out the window? It's all
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Martin King in the jailhouse sitting down, nigga right here.
Right.
You know, it's all
It looks staged. It looks staged. You got an owl somewhere in there. You got somebody with a working their hands.
Right.
Like
I'm going to show you the fire going on. They showing a drone, it's on an aerial view. Then they keep showing you, oh, this motherfucker got a blue roof. Oh, the Ford Focus is on the flats, but the whole car is still whole. What the fuck are you using to do with it, man?
Yeah.
Right. Look, when they did, I think it was Bad Boys. I think all of them, but we was camping when they was on Bad Boys 3.
Yeah.
And they shut down the street and made it a set. So if Hollywood can make a street in downtown Miami a set, why won't they do it for a false flag or something to deceive you? Why wouldn't they have been doing this shit? If they shut down streets and bridges and all these different things for Hollywood scenes, they do that for your news and shit, man.
Because they got crisis actors in every state.
Right.
Go on the crisis actors website. They have a map. They show you this. They're in every city in town in this motherfucker.
You can fill an application out for them.
Yeah, you got crisis actors all over the
Applications.
Right.
It's filling out applications, man.
On top of this new technology with AI, man.
Yeah.
Right? These new filters, they can make you look a certain way. Hey, I deal with some of that shit with rendering and editing. You can put in certain plugs. They can make it seem like Godzilla walking down this motherfucker. Man.
But see, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing about this whole AI shit. Like, people are so, enthralled by it. But they've had this technology for
40
decades.
years, man.
Yeah.
They've had this technology for decades. Okay, because if you look at these CGI movies and Star Wars and shit and Marvel and the fucking DC and Harry Potter, what are they using? They use AI. They're using CGI.
Hey, brother, check this out.
So this is nothing new, man.
They just
It looks real, but it's
what they've done is they refined it so much now they can make money off.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck I said before, whatever the hell you think you got. Oh, I got the new MacBook Pro. Man, that motherfucker old, man.
Right.
19 on the hip, nigga. That shit old
Right.
to what this nigga got. This nigga he probably got lasers.
Right.
What she do? He got ray guns.
You got mosquitoes at a
What about the dude? They got direct energy weapons from outer space, man.
That's about handguns. This nigga got ray guns and shit, man.
Hey, let me
You got a note in your fucking hand like an M&M.
Yeah. So when he protects you, cause you to have a heart attack.
Well, that been happening.
They got vans open the shit. It's gonna microwave the whole block, man.
Yeah, mosquito robot
Mhm.
drones and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this out because brothers talking about crisis actors, right? And I looked up crisis actors sign up. AI overview. To sign up as a crisis actor, you need to build your acting skills. Potentially find an agent or manager, and then look for casting calls or opportunities online or through professional networks. Companies like Crisis Cast specialize in providing role play actors for crisis management. You know? So that's the AI overview.
What that happened out here with that boat club that got shot up?
That was about Orlando.
It was Orlando.
Yeah.
They showed it there. It was price actors.
Yeah.
What happened out here? They bringing the motherfuckers instead of bringing them from
I believe.
the
Right.
they're bringing them to the
The
club.
brothers put
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
thing. It was for
Yeah,
500 a week.
Sandy Hook shit.
Yes.
You know, it is a joke.
Here it is, a little girl in Sandy Hook, guy with a black dress on. Oh, my daughter died and crying.
Insight
Then the next day,
to go started.
Barack Obama sitting there with her, the same girl that was dead on his lap, man. Sitting on his lap, you know, talking to her and shit. It's all bullshit. And now, like brother's been going into now that you have AI, you have CGI, you got to be more careful of that shit. You think you're looking at like we was looking at certain videos of chicks talking, like they say, oh, this is a Baton Rouge restaurant.
Not even her.
It's not even a real broad, man. It's not even a real person talking.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now what they got AI influencers now. They made up and created a chick or a dude to be an influencer on the internet. It's not even a real person. You
Right.
must got followers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Got AI musicians now.
Yeah.
And look how good it got in a short amount of time. The AI that they released to the public.
Yeah.
You know.
The former CIA director, William Casey, he made a quote back in 19 I think it was in the early 1990s. He said, "We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false." William J. Casey, you know, he was the former CIA director. So that just goes to show you. They admit out of their own mouth that they bring out false news and false events, you know, crisis actors to get the people to react, order out of chaos.
They've been doing it, man. Back in the old times, you only had the radio and newspaper. Now they have morphed that shit up even more through the internet, man. They got to bring out more fake news, more shit, because now you have cameras every goddamn way.
Mm-hmm.
Instantaneous something.
Yeah, because when they say, "Oh, such and such happened right here," and the person got killed, they have just be somebody right. They got cars with cameras on them. Tesla got cameras running all the fucking time on the car, even though cars off. So now they got to go even harder, giving you disinformation.
Right. It's making it's getting too hard for them. So that's why shit coming to a head, and they just finna come down and mow people down.
And turn the internet off, man.
Yep, turn the internet off.
You niggas don't see that every time it's some type of goddamn coup going on in another country. The first thing they do is the internet.
Yeah.
Turn this shit off, man.
Yeah, because they don't want to get exposed, man. But they get exposed anyway. They get exposed anyway. So whatever, man. That's why, like Brother said, they got to just come down with the sword. They don't have no choice.
Yeah, they deceit is pretty much they beguiling. It's morphine. That's not they can't weaponize that anymore. You got whistleblowers, particular people that soon as something happens, you got millions of people going into, you know, on the internet showing how it's whistleblowers. They might testifying against them.
I said I will make their tongues fall apart.
All upon themselves, yeah.
Right.
Right.
And then sometimes you don't even need whistleblowers at this point. Because guess what? Esau he's been running the same tricks over and over again. It's like at this point, like, come on, bro. We see through this shit.
Hey, Habakkuk 2 and 16.
What is real?
It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory."
Hey,
You know.
and this is about the gutter rats, all right? The Mossad.
CIA.
That's they CIA. And it's their motto. This is on their logo plaque. It says, by the way of deception, thou shalt do war. That's their shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's their motto.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't Amalek try to attack us from behind?
Yep.
You know, that's that slick shit, man. They can't never come straight up, man, because they know they can't deal on that level. They can't deal with integrity like that. They gotta deceive, man.
Hey, the bitch, Candace Owens.
Yep.
She was talking about how in 1948 those JJs came down there acting like, you know, they was refugees and needed somewhere to stay, you know, and they Israel, the Palestinians, so-called Palestinians, allowed them to even come in there into their houses. Next thing you know, Ishmael will be gone to work, and they come back to their houses. JJ said, "No, you can't go, or you can get killed." You know, so they come with peace, but they just for war, man, to take everything from you.
I'm surprised they haven't taken our ass out.
I don't know what's going on. Right.
Yeah, she might be some type of controlled opposition.
Control opposition.
Yeah.
That's,
Psalms, we got Psalms 55.
Just we had to rebuke her. I remember we had to do that review video. We had a review video on Candace Owens. I forget what the fuck he said. But we ran into him. Now a while back, we didn't run into her. We just listened. We did when it was Butler. Yeah.
It was a sit down.
Yeah.
Psalm 55 and 20 says, "He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, and had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, when war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords."
Yep.
Right.
gotcha.
That's that devil, man.
Before those preemptive strikes, Trump was just saying he was having good meetings.
Yep.
You know, talking to him, did a trip to the Middle East.
Man,
And now look,
man.
He said I'll be starting in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that shit came way before 2 weeks. That shit came within a week, man.
Okay.
Same thing. The same thing happened with if you remember, same thing happened with Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi flew from I think Qatar or whatever over here to meet Obama. Got on the world stage in New York and shook his hand. They shook hands up there.
Yep.
And then not even 3 weeks later, they was dragging him out there. Boom.
Right.
Blowing his brains out.
One more though.
Hey, man.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I was about to say.
Japan. Them people were surrendering. They was in talks to surrender. They about done with the fucking war and shit.
Yeah.
Nah, they done built up them atomic bombs. They gotta use them.
Shock up down, bro.
Right.
This
And I heard those elites were on the planes, man. Watching that shit. They put on the dark, like the welded goggles. Watch them drop that fucking little bomb on them people, man.
Wow.
it's like 9/11. Said it was in
Yeah,
the
9/11, they put that. It's an old video. You gotta go search long and hard for it. It was a guy talking to one of the Rockefellers. He was talking about the day of 9/11. They said there was 3 buildings over watching it, eating cheese and drinking wine.
Drinking
At the-
blood.
it came down.
Right. They had what's known as the Dancing JJs out in Jersey. Okay, and they call it the Dancing Israelis. So they were out in Jersey dancing as these planes dancing as the towers were on fire. And a woman called the cops saying, "Hey, there's these 5 men dancing and cheering as the towers are burning." And then those JJs ended up fleeing America, and then they were being interviewed in the so-called statehood of Israel. They were like, "Oh, we were just documentary. It's called Dancing Israelis." You could Google
Yeah,
it.
I've seen even the white van.
Yeah.
Situation,
Yep.
you know?
Oh, the white vans that used to just kidnap people off the street some years back?
No, they had a white van. The day of 9/11, we were going around. They was jumping out, dancing and shit. They were going around. It had some on the side of that bitch, saying it was gonna happen and shit. People had actually videotaped the pictures of it back then. But it was those gutter rats, man.
Yeah.
BB said
Always.
BB Milkowski, Netanyahu said back in '95, look, if you don't, America doesn't understand extremist Islam. If you don't take my advice, the Twin Towers will go down.
And they have.
How do you know that?
shit. Nero sang while Rome burned, huh?
Yes.
Playing the field.
And then they say we ignited and 3 days later.
He watching that motherfucker. He was coping of it, man.
And then somebody was after, I guess we might as well just
He
build the
blamed
towers.
And as watching through the spirit, that's what we looking out for and watching for, man. These false flags, these different things we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. And we know that things got to get to the chip, you know. And one could be like, "Oh, but things need that." Man, that shit can happen like that, man.
Yeah.
Like they could do a false flag, they could put out a pestilence, you know.
Iranians sleeper cells, bro.
Right.
There's some EMP happened, they blame it on Iran.
Lock this bitch down.
Lock this bitch down. Blame all types of shit can go down.
Blame it on
Right.
Yeah, they're using ICE to round up Iranian nationals. This shit is about to go down, bro. That shit's about to go down, bro.
Yeah, like we were saying, bro. We were saying, you know, for the past couple of days, like this could be the last camp. Like any day, any time could be the last time.
Outside.
You know what I'm saying? Call on like I think it's a move for the
I want to say one thing too. You know, you can go back and look at the patterns of things. You can tell war's gonna come. Anytime war's gonna happen, they always have a so-called attack.
Yeah.
Right before Bush was getting out of office, what happened? The attack happened, man.
Yep.
Which propelled that war for 20-some years.
Yeah.
They made money off that shit, man. So how you know another very big attack is gonna come.
Yep.
Right, and they're gonna profit off of that. Then, you know, it's a lot. It's money in war.
Yes.
It's money in debt, man.
War's a racket.
The debt of people. It's money in that shit, man. Go ahead. If you don't think so, go ask your local mortician, local funeral home guy. Ask him. Go ask him. Do he make a lot of money?
Yeah.
Bottom line.
You know.
And y'all can he haven't seen Al Qaeda on the news since 2000.
Why would make a
Like just reappeared out of nowhere. It's like it's coming. Go ahead. Let's go.
This guy, fucking small head Major General Smedley Butler. He said I spent 33 years and 4 months in the active military service, and during that period, I spent most of my time as a high-class muscle man for big business, for Wall Street and the bankers. Looking back on it, I might have given Al Capone a few hints. The best he could do was to operate his racket in 3 districts. I operated on 3 continents. War is a racket. Only a small inside group knows what it's about. It is conducted for the benefit of the very few at the expense of very very many, man.
Yeah, we got a brother a younger brother that's around the camp trying to get in. He went to war around the time of 9/11. He said, man, we went over there, flew, you know, did all this shit and woke up in the morning. We was on the fucking oil, based on the oil base, man. Oil fields, man.
Yeah, man.
He said when the dust was done, we woke up in the morning, or we finally realized it was pitch dark, and when the sun came out, we was on an oil rig, man.
Wow.
That shit was about money. That shit was about the oil shit.
And this guy that I read, and then you got the precept out there. This guy that I read was, at the time of his day, he was the most decorated Marine in U.S. history, man. All right? And he got a book called War's Racket, like you've been saying, right? And then they also go about war with what? They cause an economic turmoil. All right? They raise prices and different things. So like you say, we can see what actually is happening, what it's transitioning to, man.
Like we always go into, they control both sides.
They control, y'all just control opposition.
Just as always bring out another control war was the Civil War. They purposely in the Civil War, they purposely gave the South faulty guns and they didn't supply them so they can lose. The North wins and corporations they know that those Edomites in the South didn't want the bankers here, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want the bankers here. They knew what those banks, interest loans were gonna do. So they fought tooth and nail because that wasn't about slavery. That was damn sure was about slavery. You definitely was making bank off backs, man.
They wanted to be able to keep their money, keep their wealth. They didn't want the other Edomites and the elites to take over and have control over their wealth.
Yeah.
Okay. They wanted to keep that shit to themselves, but the elites was like, nah, we gotta spread this around.
Then they gave you those dumbasses the union, right? Making you feel like you was appreciated. Then that when that whole railroad shit came about.
Yeah, they run the union.
They ran it. These bankers, man, they got some fucking game, man. Right? And they know that you got you even you Edomites say you so goddamn stupid, man. So it's not even funny. I think the government actually cares about it. Yeah.
Ryan, what's the lady name? The wife of Mariam Balshan? Yeah. She said my sons didn't want wars. They were being. Meaning it's telling you that these elite bankers are the ones orchestrating the war. But it's actually the Lord, because the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord.
That's right.
And he's causing them to happen to get to this Armageddon, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the Great War.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
yeah. You can pick it. You can go. You can march on Wall Street. You can march on City Hall. You can
the Lord got them to do, man.
Right.
Yes, man.
Right. the foothill, no Kings rally and the protests. So it's gonna happen, man.
Yep.
Shit, we want it to happen.
Yeah.
All things work together for our sake. That's why it's happening. Because we about to get the king. You know?
On the meeting all time to get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Bad things
Yep.
happen.
Yeah, that's in the pocket. It said,
The day of doom.
you know, one must go through a narrow path.
Let me get this up.
Fire on one side.
You know it?
People are, you know, to get it.
It's a king.
To get to the kingdom of heaven, man. To receive the inheritance. You have to go through the. You have to go to the fire, man.
That's better. They already get to the throne. You got
He got you got it, right? You break it. Yeah, I know you were doing it.
This is a Rock 27 and 26. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein. That's like on the Esau, Edom, and Herd. Digging these pits ultimately for the righteous to fall into. But those same snares he's going to be taken in. This is on the second one. This is Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red. Red, and in the Hebrew it goes into Adonam going into Esau, and also red Adonam. So red and Esau is the same word in the Hebrew. So it says, and power was given to him. Job 9 and 24, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So Esau Edom is just a base man that's been put over us to rule over us, for us to learn this lesson in slavery and ultimately be exalted up for deliverance.
And that red,
He's showing who he is in
That's it.
the earth. Lord says, for the same purpose, I raised up Pharaoh to show my power. You got it, right?
And that red going to that blood. He sounds a blood thirsty.
Blood.
Yeah, the vampire.
Blood up the suicide.
It says, and power was given to him that sat therein to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
That's funny.
That's right. When you go into that word sword in the Strong's, it goes into another element of Esau's sword is, which we know, like chemical sword. You got the sword over us, political sword, military, education.
Lies.
Yep. And then it goes into the judicial punishment, this court system. Wait, Revelation 13 chapter. They go into two horns that speak as a Democrats and Republicans. It's Rome all over again.
Yes,
But this system is about to be taken down once and for all.
The guillotine is a sword. No. Guillotine is a sword. Somebody wants to Pastor did a video on it, man. So y'all better get in the mindset of being prepared to be popped from the devil. Even myself. Pastor just made the video a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Man, back in the brother out there, the head brother out there in LA.
Yeah.
When he did a video on the beautiful build. Said this is all surrounding, everything leads to that micro seeder.
Yeah.
Like the brother was going into with the pestilence. But we need to see if you've been in touch with it. Take this and put it inside of you. We'll be able to tell if you had silver walk. They're gonna blame it on the border crisis. We don't know who the hell is who. Illegal immigrants. Famine. That's gonna be another. In order to eat, get this get the devices out of it, man.
Why you see all them texts?
Yeah.
Right? Trump presidency, you saw Elon Musk more than him, man.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought he was the damn president, man.
Now they're at odds.
Yeah, now they're at odds. It's just a spectacle, man.
Right.
You got it.
Nice camera angle.
Mm-hmm.
It's fake.
Oh,
Stage.
real quick, I want to go into that. We saw press for time. They had said 7 countries to invade in 5 years. It says the former commander of NATO's forces in Europe, Clark, his name is Wesley Clark, claims he met a senior military official in Washington in November 2001, who told him the Bush administration was planning to attack Iraq first.
Okay. That's done.
Before taking action against Syria, Lebanon, Libya,
Son,
Iran,
that's it right there.
Somalia, and Sudan.
Trump's bombing him right now.
Yeah.
He's hitting him with a whole bunch of drone strikes.
Iran one is the deal.
Iran, the race.
That's the deal.
That went on the news.
Yes.
Ran on deck.
It took longer than 5 years. That was the
That was the
original
real
goal.
plan.
5 years. It took longer than 5 years.
Wait, yeah.
Right. And reminds me of the scriptures where the Lord tells the angels to hold the 4 winds.
Yeah, maybe
Because we needed to be sealed. The elect needed to be sealed.
Mhm.
That's why.
Then I'm gonna say this too. With the
Take us to high school, college, and shit.
it's a
Made it,
church
man.
man.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, made it.
Right.
That was a
The
problem.
church
Right,
man
yeah.
going on.
None of us
Right.
went in the truth. You know?
Basically,
Oh, yeah.
because once the men of the Lord find out, yeah, they move out, and then try to like basically going to try to upset the prophecy,
Yes,
or
hey.
put it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it next month, they wait till 2 years from now. One thing about a rich motherfucker, man, it's in power and controlling shit.
This thing is
They don't operate like niggas do. Niggas do you something, you gotta die right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and impulsive. A rich elite motherfucker, they'll let you live for about 10 years, 5 years, make you forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they roll up on your ass, man.
Yeah.
So they all about time. They're people of patience, man.
They strategic. Nah, but they have that's the circuit. You gotta be.
Yeah.
Circuit gotta come back like that.
Yeah, because even like an alligator sit there. They got a account of alligators watching campers camp by Riverside for 3 days before they strike, man.
Mhm.
Snakes and shit. That's how like the person they are serpent like, man.
Right. And for these Edomites, as the scriptures say, they inward thought is that they gonna last forever anyway. So they taking their time, but the Lord got a cutoff date. You got an expiration. You know what I'm saying? Esau is not in control, and that's why we finna see this man really just lose his shit, because he gonna have the Lord gonna have his man devices felon. You know, he couldn't account for the spirit, and that you're really on the Lord's time. That's why we seeing these things crumble. You couldn't account for the prophets waking up and standing up in front of the streets and exposing you guys. You couldn't account for that. You know,
I got you for you, brother.
Yeah, he ain't planning on that awakening.
right?
That was a sound. That was like, whoa.
Yeah, and they looking out into outer space.
Yeah.
Right.
They looking out into the firmament. They seeing the angels and stuff, seeing different chariots and stuff.
Yeah, brother.
You know, coming close, coming fast.
Part of the plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 minutes.
And for you, brother.
Mhm.
Psalms 140, verse 1. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man.
Mhm.
Preserve me from the violent man,
Right.
which imagineth mischiefs in their heart.
Right.
Continually are they gathered together for war.
Yeah, I got
Right.
That's coming all, they taking that crap to council. We're going to do this like y'all know what I'm saying. We had a set date for 5 years. Hold back. Ultimately, it's the Lord that's doing it. Proverbs 21:1. We'll start to engage in these type of things.
Mhm.
We'll pull back a little bit. We'll hit it again. We'll pull back. The Bible says wars and rumors of wars. That's going on. It's a war upon. It doesn't just go on nation against nation, which is Iran versus Israel. Esau versus Jacob. That's the whole moral of this whole story, man. So it's all coming down to Jacob versus Esau.
Right.
Us against the elect versus the elite. The information we're bringing out is prohibiting Esau from establishing this new world order.
It's destroying them.
It's destroying. They said in Isaiah 13 chapter, or lift ye up the banner upon the high mountain. That's over here in Babylon the Great America. The Bible tells it all, and he hates that. I didn't want to ban the Bible. Get rid of the Bible, get rid of the internet. They were trying to get rid of some of the men of the law. It is what it is. It's a war.
This is Psalm 75:8. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poured out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
Right. Okay, so the Lord is the one that's in control over the dominion of the earth, man. All right. So all the wicked that's been, you wicked Edomites that have been ruling the earth, the Lord's about to make you drink of that cup, man, the cup of his wrath. Okay, which consists of America being destroyed by fire. All right, utterly destroyed by the missiles and the chariots. Okay, NATO and the EU being destroyed as well. Militaries of your nations, your people going into slavery along with the rest of you heathens that have consulted with one consent against the Lord and against his people.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna serve slavery for 1,000 years.
Mhm.
Okay, with the rest of the heathens, you Edomites going to get it the worst. Okay, and after 1,000 years, the other nations, they'll be able to enjoy the earth. Okay, and enjoy a righteous kingdom underneath our dominion and rulership. But you Edomites, you're the vessels of the Lord's wrath. Your race will be utterly eradicated from off the earth, man.
That's right.
Okay.
That's very true. Well, I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted.
Right. The horns represents dominion and authority and power. Okay. All right. So the Lord's gonna cut off all the rulers of Edom, man. All your kings and rulers are going down. Your dominion over the earth is going down. All right. And the righteous are gonna be in authority, man. Okay, that's how the Lord set it up. I should say because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by the sea, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Man. You know,
And also, like the brother or the brother went into the law holding back the four winds. Also in Jeremiah 16:16 said we're going to be fishers. The fishers for the elect, they can get sealed. Then we get what? We become what? Hunters, man.
Yep.
Come to get you.
Yeah, the Lord is just in position, as it says in Job 5:12, to disappoint the devices of the crafty, man. Right? Take away their counsel. Because when they counsel, they don't counsel right. Well, technically they do. The Lord put it on their heart to do particular things that actually works against them, man. All right? And it's just like he did persuade the king, what? That was King Ahab. Sending out prophets to be lying prophets. Yeah. So they stargazers and, these different prognosticators. They can't look into those balls anymore and predict nothing.
Right.
When they did, they go what? Tekel, I believe. To finish that kingdom iniquity, man. So that's it. So this Lamentation 4:21, we probably can take it out this
That's
one, right?
right.
21:2. All right, come on. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Right? What's that cup? Is that what? Cup of judgment, right? Slavery, captivity. All right, the same cup we drunk.
Deuteronomy 37.
All right,
It's going to be on our enemies.
it's time to reverse. It says, "Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked." Because didn't he put the bottle in Habakkuk until his neighbor and caused them to drink? He heaped up into him many people through his democracy. All right, and along with other things, man. It says, "The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion." So we at the end of our captivity, man. This is it for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He will no more carry deal where in captivity he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So it's time for you to get judged. All right, it's time for all those things it's time for your recompense to be doubled. All right, double curses, double this, double everything, man. Double ass whipping, man. All right. And then at the end of those 1,000 years, and you just be annihilated, man. All right. So that's what we're looking forward to: the downfall of Esau, Edom kingdom, and the uprising of Jacob, man.
Right.
All right. You got it, brother.
God, getting
Close us out. That's it.
God. Hey, so with that, Lord, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakakwadash.
the honors to the apostles of great millstone and citations to the elect.
the
Hey,
hand.
Kwame Asherah. Shalom.
Mighty Shalom.
Going on, bro.
Baba Paul.
Y'all brothers, guys, roll down.